Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for today's special session on the glories of Garuda Deva on this very auspicious occasion of Sri Garuda Panchami, the divine appearance day of Sri Garuda. Let us begin with a few prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today is Sri Garuda Panchami. In the morning, in our temple here, both at Hare Krishna Hill and at Vaikunta Hill, we had a special Panchamrita Abhisheka for Sri Garuda Deva. And after that, all the devotees got a wonderful opportunity to have special darshan of Sri Garuda in a very special alankara. I hope all of you have had darshan of Garuda Deva today. So today we are going to discuss a few interesting pastimes connected with Sri Garuda Deva, his glories, and we shall also try to understand what life lessons we can derive from the life and activities of Sri Garuda. Actually, it is mentioned in the scriptures that glorifying the devotees of the Lord is a very, very powerful process. When we hear about the glorious activities of great devotees and how they are very fixed up in serving the Lord, our own love and devotion towards the Lord will increase. So, hearing about Garuda Deva is a very purifying experience, and we shall try to do that now. So, we shall now discuss the glories of Sri Garuda Deva. Before we start, let us all offer a prayer to Garuda Deva, a pranama mantra. It is displayed on the screen. Kumkumankita varnaya kundendhu dhavalaya cha Vishnuvaha namastubhyam pakshirajayate namaha. The meaning of this prayer is, O King of Birds, Pakshi Raja, Garuda Deva, please accept my obeisances. You have a complexion of vermilion, kumkuma, kumkumankita varnaya. The bodily complexion of Garuda is reddish, like the kumkuma. You shine forth like the bright moon, kundendu dhavalaya cha. You are the personal vehicle or carrier of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Vahana. So Lord Vishnu's personal personal vehicle is Garuda Deva. So Vishnu Vahana, Namastubhyam, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So this is a prayer to Garuda Deva. So glorifying Garuda Deva, as I mentioned, helps us to understand the kind of service that Garuda Deva is doing to the Supreme Lord. And in that way, we can get inspiration from Garuda Deva and become fixed up in the service of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In fact, the Vedic scriptures glorify Garuda Deva to be very, very powerful. In fact, his power he is as powerful as the Supreme Lord himself. So, who is this Garuda Deva? And how did he make his appearance? And what is the pastime behind that? We will try to understand that. The scriptures like Mahabharata describe the appearance of Garuda Deva. Today is Shravana Masa Shukla Paksha Panchami Tithi. It is on this day that Garuda Deva made his divine appearance. Of course, Garuda Deva is an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. Just like the Lord descends to this material world as various incarnations and performs various activities, in the same way, his associates also appear in this material world. They perform various activities, they glorify the Supreme Lord, and they teach us by their own example how to serve the Supreme Lord. The parents of Garuda Deva are Kashyapa Muni, who is also a Prajapati, and his wife Vinata. Since Garuda is the son of Vinata, he is also known as Vainateya. Now, the story behind Garuda's appearance in this material world is very interesting. Once, Kashyapa Prajapati, his two wives, he had many wives, and he is called Prajapati because he was given the position by Lord Brahma of progenitor. His duty or his service was to increase the population of this world in different species of life. Through different wives, Kashyapa Prajapati begot different kinds of living entities in various species. Kashyapa Prajapati was actually the son of Lord Brahma. So he was given this position of Prajapati. So Kashyapa's many wives begot different kinds of children to populate the world, but there were two wives of Kashyapa Prajapati who were always together, and Kadru and Vinata were their names. Kadru was actually the mother of all the reptiles, all the snakes, and Vinata was supposed to be the mother of all the birds, headed by Garuda, the king among all the birds, Pakshiraja. Kadru was very envious of Vinata. Vinata was a very well-behaved, a very loyal, sattvic lady, and she was always serving her husband Kashyapa very nicely. So she was actually always praised by Kashyapa. On the other hand, Kadru, she was not at all, she was actually very envious of Vinata. So she was always trying to find ways and means to put down Vinata. Once what happened, this story is narrated in the Mahabharata. Kadru and Vinata, the co-wives, both of them went to the banks of a river early in the morning to do their to take a morning bath. And at that time, Kadru happened to see the celestial horse from the Indraloka called as Uchchaishravaha, the Uchchaishrava horse. She happened to see that it was descending from the Swarga onto the banks of the river Ganga. And Kadru saw that horse from a long distance. Uchchaishrava's horse was fully whitish. Its entire bodily complexion was white, like snow. So Kadru saw that, and she said to Vinata, "Oh, look, Vinata, look at that Uchchaishrava's horse which has come. We are very fortunate. to have its darshan. It's a very rare sight. It is the horse of Indra himself. It has come here on the banks of river Ganga. And Kadru said, look at that horse. The whole body of that horse is whitish except its tail. Its tail is so black. But actually the tail of the horse was not at all black. The tail was also white, pure milky white. But just to, make fun of this Vinata, she just said jokingly, look at that. The horse has a blackish tail. Now Vinata also saw, and Vinata said, no, my dear sister, I think you have confused. See carefully, the entire horse is actually white. Its tail is also whitish. Why don't you see that? It is so white. It is milky white. But Kadru, she would not agree. No, I think you are not able to see properly. You have a problem with your eyesight. See, the tail is black. And this argument went on. And when this argument was going on, the Uchchaishrava's horse vanished from the sight. It vanished. Now, both of them continued to argue, one saying the tail was white, the other one saying tail was black. And now, Kadru, who was so envious of Vinata, she said, tomorrow, again, let us come to this place, and I'm sure this Uchchaishrava's horse will come there, and I will prove to you. We will go closer and observe tomorrow, and I shall show you by yourself, you will see how what I was saying was true. The horse has indeed a black tail. Tomorrow I shall prove to you. And she said, if I prove to you tomorrow that the horse's tail was actually black, as I mentioned, then throughout your life, you and your children who are going to be born out of your womb in the future, all of you should become servants of me and my children, lifelong. And if I am proven wrong, Kadru said, then me and my children will become the slaves of you and your children. You can just see where it was leading to. It was a very simple thing that whether the horse's tail is black or white. But look at Kadru, what she's saying. If I prove that Kadru, the horse's, the tail's color is black, then you and your children should become my slaves for lifelong. That itself shows what kind of a mentality this Kadru had. Kadru, as I said, was the mother of all the snakes. And snakes are known for being envious. Snakes are envious creatures, right? For no reason, the snake can just bite you and inject you with poison, and it can kill innocent people. So that's why that was the envious nature of this mother, Kadru. Anyway, Vinata had full faith because she knew Uchchaishrava's horse and she has seen it personally. It was white. She said, okay, tomorrow morning we will come and see, and it will be sorted. She was not interested in enslaving Kadru and her children. But anyway, that was the word given by Kadru. She said, okay, let's see tomorrow. So tomorrow early in the morning, both of them come. But before that, overnight, you know what had Kadru done? Kadru went to all her sons. All her sons were snakes, right? All blackish in complexion. So Kadru told all these snakes, if you think you have any respect for me as your mother, you should just do what I am saying. Tomorrow morning, before I bring your stepmother, Vinata, to the banks of Ganga, you should go and entwine yourselves. All of you, there were about 10,000 snakes, children of Kadru. All of you should go and entwine yourself around the tail of that Uchchaishravas. And you should make it look really black. If you don't do this, then you are no more my children. I will curse you that you will be soon dead. See, this was the words. These were the words spoken by Kadru. And out of respect for Kadru, all the sons, the snakes, they all listened to whatever Kadru said, and they all went and entwined themselves around the tail of Uchchaishrava's horse. So the next morning, when Kadru and Vinata went to the banks of the Ganga, to her utter surprise, Vinata actually saw that the tail of the Uchchaishrava's horse was actually black. Now she was taken aback. Yesterday I saw it was so white. How is that it has become black? So finally Kadru said, you see, now you've got to know what I was telling yesterday was right and you were wrong. Now, according to the condition that I had told, you and your sons should become slaves of me and my 10,000 sons, the snakes. So that Vinata Devi, without any other option, and she knew that she was being tricked by Kadru, but still she accepted this as the will of the providence, and Vinata started serving Kadru and her children like a slave, like a maid servant. Now, all these incidents happened much before the birth of Garuda. Now, I'll tell you how Garuda took birth. So, Vinata, over a period of time, she, since she is supposed to be the mother of all the birds, so by the blessings of the Lord, Vinata gave birth to 2 eggs. There were 2 eggs. And they were quite huge eggs. And they would take some more time to hatch out and for the birds to come out. But she was growing impatient. Oh, what is this? So many days are over. These eggs are not hatching out. So what this Vinata did was, out of her, she could not, out of her impatience, she forcefully broke open one of the eggs. And from that egg came a deformed, underdeveloped personality. So his body was half finished. He was only till the waist. His body was developed only till the waist. And he did not have his thighs. Uru, thighs are called Uru in Sanskrit. So since he was born without thighs, he's called Anuru, without thighs. So when she saw that her disabled child was born from the first egg out of her mistake of impatience, she was feeling so sorry for her son. And she was actually crying, lamenting. At that time, Surya Deva, he came and said, my dear Vinata, Mother Vinata, do not actually cry. I shall engage your son as my chariot driver. From today, this Anuru will not be known as Anuru. He will be known as Aruna, and he will be my chariot driver. So in this way, Aruna got the opportunity to become the chariot driver of Surya, and he went to Surya Loka. So Vinata, Mother Vinata was at least pacified now. Now, she did not want to do the same mistake of being impatient and, breaking the second egg. So she kept on praying to Lord Vishnu for a good son. And all the while she was carrying out her duties as a maid servant to her, to Kadru, to Kadru and her sons. And she was every day praying to Lord Vishnu. And she was saying, my dear Lord, please give me a son who can actually free me from this slavery. And she was constantly praying. And at an opportune moment, that is Shravana Masa, Shukla Paksha, Panchami Tithi, that is on this particular day, today, Garuda Panchami day, Garuda Deva broke open that egg, a huge egg, and he came out. And it is described that he came out flapping his wings, which were so powerful. And it is said, with the flapping of the wings of Garuda, the transcendental sound vibration of the Vedas are heard. Garuda is such a devotee that just by flapping his wings, he's glorifying the Supreme Lord by chanting the Omkara and the Vedic mantras. And he came out with so much force that he started flying in the sky above. And from that ashrama of Kashyapa Muni, he actually flew to Swargaloka. He actually went to Swargaloka. And there he saw the Indra and all his other associates sitting there. And Indra was actually surprised to see who is this mighty bird, the golden eagle who has come. He had never seen such a person before. And then he came to know, actually, this is the son of Kashyapa, Garuda. He's very powerful. So he said, my dear Garuda, now you don't have any work here, but you please go down back to your house because your mother is desperately waiting for you. She actually prayed to Lord Vishnu for a powerful son who can free her from slavery. And by Lord Vishnu's blessings, you are born. You please go and try to help your mother. So in this way, Indra sent Garuda back. So Garuda came back, and Mother Vinata was very happy to see such a powerful son. So Garuda, you can see, he's always depicted with as a half man and half bird. He has features of human being with wings. So he is Garuda. Now, what happened? Now, Garuda was born into slavery. Actually, this story is very interesting for us. It is very connected with us also. See, we also in the material world, we are born. And from day one, as we are born in this material world, we are always engaged in serving the dictations of the senses and the mind. In that way, material life means it is a life of bondage. It is a life of slavery. We go on serving our senses and mind, thinking that by serving the senses and the mind, we'll become happy. But actually, we never get happiness. We get cheated. So when you serve the wrong master, you will be not happy. You will be, always in as Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada samudvigna dhiyam asadgrahat. Always udvigna manaha, always in anxiety. Why are we anxious? Why are we suffering? Because we are serving the wrong master. So this Garuda, he had to actually serve his stepmother Kadru and all his stepbrothers, the snakes, the nagas, because his mother had become a slave. That was the word that she had given to Kadru. So this Kadru, the stepmother of Garuda, would treat him very badly. She would engage him in all kinds of menial services. She would never give any work to her own sons, the Nagas, but she would always harass this Garuda. But Garuda was tolerating all of that. So once this Kadru told, "Oh Garuda, you are one useless fellow, simply sitting here flapping wings. Why don't you do some seva to my sons? All my sons, the snakes, they do not have any wings like you. They want to have a jolly ride in the airways. Why don't you take all my sons on your back and fly high in the sky and give them some joy? Do this seva. This is my order." Like that, Kadru told, and immediately this Garuda Deva had to do that. So he took all his 10,000 sons of Kadru on her back, all the 10,000 snakes, and he started flying high and high in the sky. And all those snakes Nagas were very happy because they had never got that experience. Now Garuda wanted to teach these Nagas a lesson. See, every day you are harassing me so much. And if I give you a jolly experience, every day you will say that you want to take me, I should fly and you should carry me on my back. So Garuda thought something I should do so that next time these snakes will not ask me this kind of a request. So Garuda, with his mighty power, started flying high in the sky, and it is said he started flying towards the sun. And it became hot and hot, hotter and hotter as they approached the sky. And the Nagas could no more take the scorching heat. They could not tolerate the scorching heat. And they immediately said, Garuda, please take us down to the earth. We cannot actually bear this heat. Take us back to the ground. So then Garuda said, will you ask me again to take me on my back again for a jolly ride, for a flight? They said, no, no, never. We are not going to ask. Please, please take us back to our house. So in this way, Garuda brought all of them down. So this was going on. Garuda was doing all the household job and, menial services and all of that. And Kadru was not at all, compassionate upon the small boy, Garuda. So many, many days passed like this, many years passed. And Kadru and her sons were always, treating this Vinata and Vainateya, Garuda Deva, as their servants and ill-treating them, treating them very badly. So one day, this Kadru came up with a proposal. Kadru said, okay, I see that, you are very, she said, Vinata Devi, you're always serving us so much. And actually, I see that you're taking so much pain. You and your sons are taking so much pain for us. Now, I want to release you from bondage. Enough. You don't have to serve me anymore, me and my children. I'll release you from bondage. But one condition. What is that? See, your son, Garuda, is so powerful. As soon as he took birth, he could actually go to Indraloka. I have heard that in Indraloka, there is Amrita. I want all my sons to drink Amrita. And I want them to lead a long life. Now, if your son Garuda can go to Indraloka and bring the Amrita Kalasha with him and feed that Amrita to all of my children, then immediately I shall release you from this slavery. This was the proposal that Kadru said. And Vinata very happily agreed. She said, okay, at least after these many years, this Kadru got some compassion and she wants to release us from the slavery. And she said, my dear son Garuda, please go and bring Amrita. Now Garuda knew that feeding Amrita to the poisonous creatures, the Nagas, is not a very good thing to do. So he said, okay, I will go and bring the Amrita Kalasha. That is what you have agreed. And how to drink, let them take care of it. How to drink that Amrita, that is left to them. So Garuda immediately went, soaring high in the sky. He went to the Swargaloka, and there he actually fought with Indra, and very forcefully he was successful in snatching the Amrita Kalasha, the pot of nectar, from the hands of Indra. You will see this example mentioned several times in Krishna book if you're reading. Just like Garuda snatched the pot of nectar from Indra, like this analogy is given in the Bhagavatam also many times. So, Garuda Deva brought the nectar, Amrita Kalasha, and Kadru and her sons were very happy. They were very eager to drink the Amrita and become immortal, kind of, or a long duration of life they wanted to lead. That was their desire. So when Garuda brought the Amrita Kalasha, he said, oh, my dear Nagas, all my brothers, yes, now you can drink Amrita, but before that you should take a holy bath and come. Go to the river, take a bath and come. So all the Nagas went to take baths, and that time, very intelligently, what did Garuda Deva do? He actually did not want to feed these poisonous creatures with Amrita and create more problem for all the living entities. So what did he do? He actually laid a mat of sharp grass. The grass which has sharp tips, he actually laid it. And on top of that, he kept the Amrita Kalash. And he said, "Oh, my dear brothers, Nagas, please go and drink this nectar. Go and drink this Amrita." So when all the snakes hastily they started moving towards the Amrita Kalasha, because of the sharp edges of that grass, all their tongues got slit into two. That's why the snakes have slit tongue, if you notice. So the snakes, their tongues were slit into two, and with great pain, they started suffering. They could not go up the Amrita Kalasha and drink the nectar. And when this happened, very hastily, Garuda Deva went, took the Amrita Kalasha, and back to Swarga, he returned it back to Indra. Now, with this condition, because he had told that I'll bring Amrita Kalasha, so he fulfilled that condition. So he told his stepmother Kadru, whatever you told me, I have done. It is the inability of your children. They could not drink the Amrita. So what? That is not my fault. Now, according to your own words, me and my mother are now free from the bondage to you. We are no more your slaves. So in this way, Garuda rescued his mother from the slavery of Kadru. Now, all these happenings were observed by Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord observed how Garuda is so powerful. He brought the Amrita Kalasha, and how he cheated the Nagas and made sure they did not get the Amrita. And Lord Vishnu also appreciated the fact that even though Amrita was in his custody, Garuda did not drink even a drop of Amrita. He he just kept it back in the Swargaloka. All this was observed by Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu was very happy. So he appeared and he said, "My dear Garuda, I'm very happy with your sincerity. You have not misused your power to drink Amrita for yourself. So I really appreciate this. You please tell me, what benediction should I give you? I'm very pleased with you. Please tell me, what benediction do you want?" And immediately Garuda Deva said, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are the master of the entire creation. Everybody is actually your servant. But only the devotees realize this and they engage in your service and they become very happy. But on the other hand, those who are not your devotees, they try to lord over this world thinking that they'll become happy. They do so many things, but unfortunately, they cannot become happy because they cannot serve you. They don't serve you. My dear Lord, my only desire is, please engage me as your personal servant. This is my only desire. I don't have any other desire." Now, Lord Vishnu, he said, "Oh Garuda Deva, just now you have been freed from the slavery of your stepmother. And now you are telling you want to become my servant? I think you're not very intelligent. Please think again and ask something else. Just now you have become freed from the slavery of your stepmother. Now you want to become my servant? What is this?" Lord Vishnu actually wanted to glorify Garuda Deva to everybody, to the whole world. That's why he asked this question. And Garuda Deva said, "My dear Lord, the greatest position in this world is to simply engage as your order carrier. There is no other greater position. I'm very clear about it. And I just want to be your servant. Please engage me in your service. This is the only thing I want." Just like we read in the Bhagavatam, when Dhruva Maharaj was asked by the Supreme Lord, "What do you want?" Dhruva Maharaj said, "No, I don't want anything. I just want to be engaged in your seva, in your service. Swamin kritartosmi varam na yache. I don't want any other benediction. I just want to be your servant." Actually, serving the Supreme Lord is completely on a different platform. Serving people of this material world, that will neither give us satisfaction nor the people whom we serve, nor are they satisfied. But serving the Supreme Lord is our constitutional position. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. We are all eternal servants of Krishna, and we can be most happy only when we come back to our original constitutional position of serving the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Garuda Deva is teaching us by his own example that the best self-interest for each one of us is to engage fully in the service of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Vishnu was very pleased with these words of Garuda Deva, and he immediately appointed Garuda Deva as his personal carrier. Vishnu Vahanamastubhyam Pakshirajaya Te Namah. So he became the personal personal vehicle of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So we see Garuda Deva being glorified in many ways in the scriptures. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vainateyascha Pakshinam. Among birds, I am Vainateya, the son of Mother Vinata, Garuda, the feathered carrier of Vishnu. That means Garuda Deva is not an ordinary personality, right? He is in different categories. Krishna explains his opulences. He says, among the immovable things, I am Himalayas, and among the birds, I am Garuda. So Garuda is one of the representations of Krishna's opulence in the world. And there are different names of Garuda Deva. Pakshi Raja, the king of birds. Vainateya, because he's the son of Mother Vinata. He's called Suparna, the one who has beautiful golden wings. And he's also called Vinata Sutta, Vishnu Vahana, Nagantaka, and Kashyapeya, the son of Kashyapa. These are all the different names of Garuda. And we see in every Vishnu temple, in front of the temple, we see a flag post, a tall stamba flag post, and that is actually called Garuda Stamba in every Vishnu temple. And you see the deity of Garuda Deva, he's always in a position, he's just holding his hands, standing right in front of the Lord, waiting for his orders. He is very seva tatparaha, means he's always eager. When will the Lord give his next orders? And when will I get the great fortune of carrying the Lord on my back? That is the mood of Garuda Deva. And we can see in many pastimes, the Lord employed Garuda Deva. For example, in the Gajendra Moksha pastime, when Gajendra, the king of elephants, was distressed by the attack of the crocodile, he started offering prayers to the Lord. And the Lord hastily came there on the back of Garuda to deliver Gajendra, his dear devotee, from his pain. So here it is said, Gajendra was feeling acute pain, but when he saw that Narayana, wielding his disc, was coming in the sky on the back of Garuda, he immediately took a lotus flower in his trunk, and with great difficulty, he uttered the following words, O my Lord Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So in this way, in many, many pastimes, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, engages Garuda in his service. Even in the Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna was present on this planet, and he went to fight against Narakasura, at that time, Krishna and Satyabhama Devi, both of them were carried by Garuda Deva to the capital city of Narakasura, Pragjyotishpura, and there also we can see the Lord employing Garuda Deva. So Garuda Deva is so fortunate, isn't it? He's personally carrying the Supreme Lord on his back. That Lord who carries the burden of the entire universe, entire creation, has given a special mercy to Garuda to carry the Lord on his back. So Garuda Deva is very, very great devotee of the Supreme Lord. On this auspicious occasion of Garuda Panchami, we should all pray to Garuda Deva. My dear Garuda, just like you're always eager to engage yourself in the service of the Supreme Lord, please also give me the consciousness that I should also be eager to engage in Krishna's service. I should grab every opportunity available to render service to Krishna. Just like you chose to render service to Krishna, let me always choose to serve only Krishna. Let me not choose to serve my mind and my senses. Let me always choose to render service to Krishna. So this is the prayer that we should offer to Garuda Deva. And by the blessings of Garuda Deva, it is possible for us to develop this sincere desire to serve the Supreme Lord. So before we close, let us offer this pranama mantra to Garuda Deva once again, and let us seek his blessings. Let us seek Garuda Deva's blessings to become, so that we can become more and more Krishna conscious and develop a sincere desire to serve the Supreme Lord. You can all fold your hands and repeat after me. Kumkumankita varnaya kundendu dhavalaya cha Vishnuvahanamastubhyam Pakshirajayate namaha. Shri Garuda Dev ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.